Hello there, girls and boys, and welcome back to Inner Sanctum, the place where I show you all my tricks while I pull them off live right in front of you. Today we're coming back to Logic Pro 11, and today is actually going to be the last session or the last live stream of this particular session, on which we're producing a track only using plugins and trying to make it sound proper and, well, fun. One thing I'm gonna do right now. I could hear myself going through my headphones that I use for monitoring purposes, but hopefully everything's going okay. So one thing that I want to clarify: last week we had an issue with the chat because we are now for the last few weeks been trying to live stream simultaneously on both Rumble and Logic and YouTube, and it seems that finally I nailed down all of the problems that we're facing in the last few weeks. And let me just check quickly if the sound of my voice is not coming excellent. We fixed the problem that we got with the noise as well. There was some form of potential electric noise coming through one of the microphones, but now it's being removed and it's working correctly. Now, without further ado, girls and boys, let's take a look at Logic Pro 11. Here we go. Welcome back, girls and boys, to Logic Pro 11. In front of us, we've got the project that we're going to keep using to produce this fantastic track. Well, fantastic track, that's on everybody's opinion. But let's listen to the track as it is at this very point so we can see if it's working correctly or not and what to do. Here we go, from the top. Okay, it's already sounding quite okay, to be very frank with you. It's clearly not, the melody line is missing, clearly. So you might be asking, why would you keep the song as it is? The thing is that the plan for this track is to have a collaboration with one of you, girls and boys, who would like to be part of this. We will be announcing the way to develop this collab later on the channel, so stay tuned for that one. So the plan for this is going to be keep developing the harmonic structure of the track in a way that allows for some form of lead sound. It could be guitar or synthesizer or saxophone, depending on what kind of stuff I had for breakfast that very day, on which I decide who is going to be the one who is going to be filling that particular gap. But with that in mind, we have to produce a track that is not going to be intrusive in the sense of, well, considering the potentiality of the sound that could be the lead tone for this track. Now, let's take a look at Logic. What we're going to be doing today. My plan is to finish off the sound design of the track and getting it ready for it to be shared with whoever is going to do the final section, the final instrumental take. And also getting it ready for it to be mixed once that instrumental take is done. So, one thing that I would like to point out at this point, I'm going to be working on the drums quite a lot today. So, let's begin with it. Here we go. Right now we're working with Logic's built-in drummer, which I think is fantastic. It's actually working correctly. I don't see the need of even changing the tone of the drums as they are right now. But if you can see over here, we're dealing with a stereo track rather than a multi-channel. So that's gonna be fixed right away. If you press X and you go straight to your mixer, you can see that we got over here the virtual instrument or the channel strip on which we loaded drummer. I'm gonna click over here, regular click, and I'm gonna select drum kit designer, but I'm gonna turn it multi-output rather than stereo. By doing so, it's gonna load. Give it a second because it's now turning the entire thing differently. With this, now we got this new button over here on our channel strip that if we click on it, we're gonna start to create new tracks. This is due to the fact that we are now splitting the output of each of the individual sounds that are part of the sound of the drum kit to be outputted through through an independent what's the name? A channel strip. Okay, so let me show you. If I press play, you'll see that the entire section over here, I'm gonna make a cycle over here. If I press play, you are gonna see that the entirety of my drum kit is gonna be output through the different channel strips that I just created. Badass, right? So now I'm gonna add them to the rest of my arrangement. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select all of the new channels, right click on them, and then I'm gonna select here, create track. By pressing this particular, option, now we created a set of channel strips that are now visible over here on our arrangement window. Now with this, I would be able to mix them up as if I were actually mixing the drums as they are. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna lower the volume of all of my instruments that are part of the drum kit, and I'm gonna take advantage of this moment to rearrange them. For whatever reason, this particular track, the one that holds the entire region, the drummer region, is the one that it's gonna contain the overheads. So I'm gonna name it correctly. Overheads, there it is. So here we go. I'm gonna press play, and we're gonna begin to add these bad boys one by one, and I'm gonna solo them all. Here we go. But one thing, this clearly changes the entirety of my game structure. So I will first duck down every single one of my instruments. So we're gonna be rearranging the sound of our mix, so we make sure that it's sounding correctly and actually in a harmonious fashion. So I'm gonna have my mixer present and visible to you. Just give me a second, I did something quite stupid there. So it's visible to you. So in here, I'm gonna begin adding the rest of the instrumentation to the rest of the mix, a little by little. Right now we're gonna begin with the drums on. I think I already got something going on there. So I'm gonna just make sure that I have all of the channels that are not the drums visible to me. Here we go. There is. I think I got a much more better sounding mix. Now, what are we gonna do with this? I'm thinking on adding a little bit of extra to this to the sound of each of my elements here in the drum kit. So let's begin. I'm going to be working with the overheads. So first thing first, we already have the sound of the overheads. This is going to be kind of funky. You'll see. Since we're dealing with a virtual instrument, we're going to be forced to deal with each of the sounds that are part of the drum kit in an individual fashion. The overheads in Logic represent everything that is, well, cymbals and nothing else. So let's see. I'm going to add this super cool plugin that I totally recommend you to get, and it's going to be used today quite a lot. This plugin is by Universal Audio, and it's called Sound City Studios. This plugin is badass, and it's not that one. It's this one. This plugin, it's going to allow us to remix, and yes, you heard that right, remix the sound of every single one of the instruments that are part of, or elements that are part of our drum kit through the use of IRs and many more things. This thing's very complex and it's very cool. Just see how much the sound of the cymbal changed. That's on, off. Okay, how does this work? First, we got in mind that we are going to be remaking the sound of the drums with a new set of microphones. Okay, and those microphones are going to be blended together through the use of this mixer. Right now, we got a selection of 3 microphones for each of the 3 different positions that the plugin has to offer. We're going to be dealing with a closed microphone first, which is going to be this guy, I think. Yep, it's this guy. And we're going to mute it. Solo it, girls. Sorry. So we're going to try to see what kind of sound we get. Let's see. I'm going to keep that guy there. I'm going to turn on room 2. And I'm going to turn this guy. The first guy is going to be opening. I'm going to preserve the C24. But for my room microphone, I might get get them a little bit closer. And we're going to use the U67. Okay. I'm going to duck down the closed microphone and I'm going to blend it in a little bit. I'm going to swap the phase so we can see if it's not creating some form of issues with our phase coherency. It is indeed. Let's align it. Better. Now, should I bring the second room? I don't know, to be frank, because I already like what I'm getting. So what I'm going to do now is going to go straight to my effects. And in here, I'm going to turn off the dynamics for now, and the equalizer as well. We're going to be inserting a little bit of chamber reverb to add a little bit of space and density to the sound. Let's see. Okay, but I feel that I got a little bit too much of the close. Let's see. Now we're talking. Let's see how it feels or how it sounds like in the context of the mix. Pretty cool. Now let's do the same to the sound of our snare. Here we go. I'm going to select once again Sound City Studios. Here we go. And I'm going to do the super important thing, that is clicking on the chain here. Because by doing that, every plugin that you open is going to be replacing the one that you have. So it's only going to be one interface per plugin. It just want to be one interface for every plugin you open. So let's see. Let's take a look at the sound of the snare first, as it is, with Sound City. Quite nice. It's feeling fatter than before. Now let's see if I could add a little bit of the second room, just to add a little bit of extra sense of space for the snare. Let's see. I don't know if it's gonna work. Nice. Let's see if it fits with the rest of the mix. Nice, 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 nice. The whole point of this, or imagine this like if we were trying to actually improve the sound of the snare while tracking. That's why you see me using the EQ here on the Sound City Studios, because the plan is to make the sound of the snare feel a little bit more unique. One thing that has to be stated, and this is something that it's very important when it comes to this plugin. You see that I fumble quite a lot when it comes to the use of this section here, the mixer, or fumble is not the right word that I would use, but I spend a good chunk of time here because you can create some form of issues with phase coherency, and that could create some form of artifacts, audible artifacts that could ruin the sound of your snare or wherever you're applying this to. So it's important to be careful with how much you add of each of the different microphones. Why is that important, or why do you have, or what kind of things you have to keep an eye on? Let me explain. That's why we have to go important. Hey, Robbie, finally we can read you. I realized that we had that issue with the comments last week and the week and the previous week as well. So finally we can get in touch again. So yes, I was explaining this thing. What I was saying. Oh yeah, when it comes to phase and microphones, that's where you're usually going to find yourself struggling with finding the sweet spot, because it's basically impossible to have two microphones aligned 100% correctly when it comes to their phase coherency. That happens because microphones are going to be recording the sound from different perspectives, different positions in the room, or the space on which you are recording the sound, and that means that even the reflections that will be captured by each of the microphones are going to be completely different from one another. So this plugin, Sound City Studios, has to be used in a similar fashion. If you push too much of one, you're going to bring in everything that particular microphone is creating or adding to the mix. And if you push it too much, you can make those potential artifacts quite visible or audible in this case, and ruining the sound of your project. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let me check. Yeah, no problem. I thought something was wrong with the tech. Yeah, Robbie. We since we are trying to expand this operation, we're facing all sorts of issues. But I think we are getting better at it, and we should be delivering a way better show now. Okay, let's continue. I got already this sound. Let's see how it fares. I'm gonna go back a little bit from the top. Here we go. Okay, I feel like my hi-hat feels a little bit out of place, and it is due to the fact that our sound city is only affecting the cymbals, one part of the cymbals that are part of the sound of the snare, of the drum kit. I'm gonna go the lazy route, and I'm gonna copy that particular plugin the same way as it is right now on the overheads. It's gonna be inserted on the on the percussions hi-hats. Let's see if it sounds better. I'm gonna create a looping region there. Way better, right? It feels more natural, it feels more organic, and it's due to the use of these microphone positioning. The thing is that right now we're having these overheads. Well, these microphones are replacing the sound of or this plugin is replacing the sound of the overheads as they were captured during the sampling sessions for this library. It's already sounding better, but I feel something's going funky with my hi-hats. I think they're overly bright. I'm gonna once again hit the mixer here, not the mixer, the effects, and I'm gonna actually turn on the overheads, the highs, the EQ. Let's see. How that? Sounds way better. Let me try the compressor. I'm gonna turn it on, and this is actually a super cool compressor. It has plenty of different flavors, and all of them are super useful. I totally recommend you to get this plugin, being frank. I'm sorry about that. Let me just make sure that this is not getting in the way of the live stream. There's a way to fix it. Let's go. Sorry about that, customers. And am I still visible? Yes, I am. Okay, what I did with this, I turned on the compressor because I wanted to control the sound of my snare, of my hi-hats, going through after the EQ. Because with the EQ, I actually enhanced the good portion of the sound of my hi-hats without increasing the annoying, overbearingly loud high end that could potentially ruin the sound of my mix. And remember, we're not mixing, we're sound designing. And I'm trying to take you as close as possible to what I do whenever I'm miking up a drum kit. Get me? Because when you are putting microphones on top of a drum kit, one of the things that you have to keep in mind is developing and creating a sound that will serve the purpose for the song once you hit the mixing station. And in this case, I'm trying to do the same by shaping up the sound coming into my microphone, fake microphone of course, through the use of this EQ and compressor. So first thing, I just boosted this 3.2K wherever it's hitting this particular band, and it's enhancing just the attack of the hi-hat without becoming without turning it into something kind of super brittle. Then it's hitting the compressor, and you can see that I barely compress the signal. Let me show you once again. I'm gonna press play. It's barely moving, but with this I am making the sound of the subtle notes, not the ones that are super loud, but the ones that are in between those loud hits, be a little bit more audible without having to make them feel super processed, if that makes sense to you. How did I do it? By simply using the mix knob over here. One of the things that makes this plugin great is that you can actually do some wet, dry approaches, but the issue is that you have to compensate either by using the fader here, or as I did here, using Logic's internal fader. That's basically it. But one more thing, I might blend in a little bit more of the natural sound, the original, into the mix, because right now we have been listening to this effect by this being the full-on force. Let me check. Whatever. I'm gonna keep it like as it is for now, because going live takes a lot of resources, so I'm not gonna bother running the risk of crashing the computer. But you get me. We're getting a very good sound anyway. Okay, so from here, what we're gonna do, I like what I'm getting, but I feel that I want to work on my drum kit a little bit more. So I'm gonna do some form of reinforcement. How to do it? I would like to add an extra sound to my snare and to my kick drum by adding a second layer of a second sample. How to do it? Let's do this. I'm gonna duplicate this guy. We're gonna copy the entire thing. I was expecting that to happen. Yeah, I knew it. Something crashed as usual. A hard drive that I'm fixing right now already crashed, and that's why I was seeing some issues with my performance. Wherever, technology always fails on you. Right click, and we're gonna turn this convert. Where is it? Convert, and we're gonna convert to MIDI regions. Bam! Now this gigantic chunk of notes are gonna be used to trigger a different sound library. In this case, let me just remove these guys. No plugin. I'm gonna go clean slate with this bad boy. We're gonna add a second kick drum. Let's see which one is the kick drum. Yeah, I think it's this guy. So we're gonna copy those guys. But in order for me to do it correctly, I'm gonna select the entirety of my region. I'm gonna press T on my keyboard, and then I'm gonna press G, so I can select the glue tool, click on it, double T, so I can come back to the selector, and from here I'm gonna create another instrument track. We're gonna go for software instrument, create. There it is, perfect. And we're gonna insert. I was hoping to be able to use a battery, but the hard drive rocking battery died right now, so we're gonna have to use. Which one can I use? Okay. We're gonna use the sampler, Logic's internal sampler. Let me get it here. Sampler, sample alchemy, no, sampler, mono. And let's see if by any chance we can actually load a kick drum from the built-in library, from some percussions. Electric, we're gonna go for kit. It's percussion, no. I want, yeah, I'm gonna use single drums. Excellent. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's check this out. Okay. This guy is being triggered by, let's see, Command K to bring on my keyword. Okay, this is actually loud. I'm gonna lower the sampler. Okay, here we go. Here is what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna remove these two guys from our screen, And from here, I'm gonna select, once again, double clicking, and I'm gonna select my all of the kick drums, which I think are this guy. I'm gonna copy. Allegedly, those are my kick drums. Yes. Let's see. Hopefully, this is the kick drum. Copy. Then we're gonna create yet another region here. T, P, and then double T again, so we can create another section here. And I simply Command V to add all of those bad boys. Let's see. Yes, it is a kick. Okay, we can hide this guy for now, or mute it. And I'm gonna call this guy drums the MIDI. Easy and simple. Now let's play around with this guy. I think super loud. Okay, let's play with this sound. I'm not necessarily speaking find it to be the most efficient, but I think we can make it sound better. Let's see. Let's lower the pitch. And now what I want to do is create a kind of super low-endy, punchy extra layer to the sound of my kick drum, so I can make it feel a little bit chunkier and hit harder. So the way to go is going to be playing around with this guy. Let's see. I'm going to change the filter. It's getting there, but I'm not fully convinced. I'm gonna add a plugin. It's gonna be, let me see, if I recall correctly, the name of this guy was, let me go for manufacturer, and it's not necessarily from Plugin Alliance, but it's, what's the name of that guy? Unfiltered Audio. Basement. Yeah, this is excellent. This guy is fantastic. Just out of the box, okay? Here we go. Hello, Death! This thing is excellent. Let me give you a quick rundown of what I did. Right now we're using the synthesize mode, which actually creates an extra frequency. I'm trying to come up with the proper terminology. It's actually creating an oscillator on which is producing a waveform that follows the attack of the kick drum, or the signal that we're applying this to. With the cutoff frequency, we can create or tune that oscillator to match the sound of our kick drum or the mix itself, basically tuning it. And the strength will create, and you can see it adds a little bit more of the a potential resonance point, and many more things. Shelf and clarity are applying some form of EQ to the sound. So, and also anti-rumble, it removes the potential extra mud or rumbliness that could be created by some hard clipping on the low end. So I'm gonna remove the sound of this guy, and I'm gonna name it better because right now it's a mess on my console. I'm gonna call it kick 2, clearly simple. Kick 2, and it's gonna be right under kick 1, obviously. And let's push it in. Cool, right? I can already hear you say that, yeah, that you're just making the kick sound louder. Yes and no. Because, of course, fundamentally speaking, yes, I am making the sound of my kick drum a little bit louder by having an extra layer of sound happening at the same time the kick drum is hitting. But also, it's basically the same. It's a similar tone, it's a similar instrument, and both of them are happening at the same time. But the same what I'm doing with the bass, I'm doing with the kick. I'm using both at the same time and summing them up, using one or the other to add an extra sense of work, or I'm using each of them to work on a particular set of frequencies, allowing for each of them to do their best and contribute to the sound of the music better. And once I hit the mixing stage, this is going to be a risk because now I have a way to push and add a little bit of extra air to the sound of my mix. Badass. Now, let's do something extra. Because right now I feel that the sound of my pad, even though it's working correctly, I feel that it's a little bit abrupt. Let's take a listen to it from the top. Yeah, it feels abrupt, and that's due to the fact that the attack on it is quite fast. Let's address it. Introducing Alchemy, which is the sound, it's a synthesizer we've been using so far to create this sound. I feel that I like the way it's behaving. I think it's already doing its job, but this section, the HHDSR envelope that is controlling the whole operation, it's a little bit too harsh. It's way too fast. What do we mean by that? Bring the keyboard again. It's way too immediate. It sounds a little bit EDM-y, if that makes sense to you. So I'm gonna simply do this. I'm gonna push the attack a little bit, making it a little bit slower, and see what happens. Now, it could behave better. Let's see. starting to like this thing. It's working correctly. Now, I think the sound of this pad is good, but we need to add a little bit of tension during this quasi-chorus portion. That particular part. So I'm gonna create a new virtual instrument again. Here we go, software instrument, and we're gonna be rocking. Let's do something fun. First, I'm gonna add a deep sounding Marianne, yeah, and it's gonna go mono. Then yeah, this is gonna be cool. Look, Marianne is a Moog-like synthesizer, and it's usually ultra loud as it comes out of the box. So I'm gonna go straight to the output. I'm gonna dock it down. I'm gonna use the keyboard again. Very cool sounding default setting, right? So let's see. Let me check the correct chord, the key. There it is. Okay. Let me just go here and check the voice. No. Here could be blah blah blah. No, wherever. Here we go. Yeah, wherever. Here we go. I'm gonna record a simple extra layer of sound. Here we go. Okay, let's see, because I think I've dropped the ball on the second note. Let's see. Oof. I'm gonna keep that note. I'm gonna hold this note the entire section, because my plan for it is just to add that little bit of ominousness to that section. Here we go. Let's see. Theoretically speaking, it's working, but I don't like the sound because it's clashing with the bass. Let's see what the bass is doing. I'm gonna do that. Let's see once again the bass. Now I think it works. Let's check. It's not the bass then where we're clashing with. It's gonna be the synthesizer, the pad. Yeah, I think just by playing the octave should work. Let's see. gonna stick to the same octave, but I'm gonna retrigger the note there. And I'm gonna go here to Mariana, and I'm gonna extend the release tail of my synthesizers a little bit. Synth. So filter, locus filter, mixer, slayer, sync controls. Control number 1, envelope, here is amp. I'm gonna increase the release. Let's see. I'm gonna make it longer. Better. I'm gonna do the same on this guy. Is not even engaged. No problem. Perfect. Here we go. Let's see how it sounds like. Nice. Second trick, because we're gonna have to repeat this section again. I'm gonna insert a pitch modulator to that very plugin, to that very instrument. We're gonna turn that bass into a stereo signal. Heresy, yeah, kinda. But we're gonna be doing it in a way that is not gonna ruin the sound of our mix. Let me see how can we do it. Because it would be cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, we're gonna do first the where is my pitch? We're gonna go for something not that insane. Pitch shifter. Modulation. Pitch shift. Yeah. I'm gonna go for little micro shift. Yes, mono. For now. Let's see. I'm gonna solo it. Okay, it just increased the width. Let me see if we get a much better representation by flipping it to a stereo version. Of course, it's feeling wider, but I want to preserve a little bit of the mono signal in the center. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for imaging, and we're gonna be using. We can use Dr. Mess, but no. I'm gonna use the stereo maker. Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna go here. We're gonna select here our mono frequency. We're gonna try to set it somewhere. Everything beneath 80 Hertz is gonna be preserved as mono. The rest is gonna go stereo. Let's see if it's better now. In the mix. Like it. The thing is that these guitars are a bit too loud. Let's do it again. Badass. I'm gonna repeat that section on the second chorus, and this is gonna be called sub. And I'm gonna take this bad boy all the way here to be part of the family of basses, because it's actually a bass sound. And let's see, because I gotta finish this, wrap it up now. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can create a little bit of an extra layer of interest in the second half of the track over here. We're gonna try a different instrument. Here we go. Software instrument again. We're gonna be creating. I'm gonna be using something that we haven't used that often here. Let's go for Polymax. This is actually quite cool. This is a virtual instrument created by Universal Audio that it's kind of an amalgamation of different synthesizers from the 80s. It's similar to my beloved Juno and has plenty of characteristics that are quite unique to the sound of that era. Plus the extra benefit of having a simplified version of some of the Universal Audio's plugins. They're simply excellent. So let's see. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a little bit of an arpeggiated section there. So let's see. Sorry, I forgot to turn on the keyboard. Okay, it's very loud. So I'm gonna do this. Let's do something quite fast and easy. Remove the keyboard because we're gonna be doing this. I'm gonna copy this region, which is basically the same that is playing is the same section being played by the pad, the first layer, and it sounds like this from the top, obviously. It's already musical, right? Why is that happening? It's because I inserted an arpeggiator, a MIDI plugin on top or before the Polymax. These MIDI plugins are fantastic because you can actually create also add, for example, an arpeggiator to an instrument that doesn't have one, such as Polymax. So let's play around with it. I'm gonna go for random. No, I'm gonna go for back and forth. Here we go. So freaking good, right? That was amazing. I'm gonna copy that section, the next section again. I hope it doesn't become overly obnoxious. Let's see how it fares over there. Okay, let's see. From the top. this is kind of annoying, and I just remembered that yes, Polymax actually comes with a built-in arpeggiator, but wherever. This one is already working. We got an issue here. You can see that our arpeggiator kind of goes bonkers in here because our notes are not set to perfection on the grid. So I'm going to select them and quantize the living stuff out of everything here. Let me make sure that everything is super quantized because that could create problems with the performance. Let's see. Okay, here we got another issue. This is happening because we don't have the same note being triggered at the same time here. So I'm gonna do it by duplicating it and then again quantizing. You know that I usually try to avoid quantizing to perfection that often, but things that in here is becoming quite apparent. The arpeggiator kind of goes to wrong places. And in here, I think we're getting a very busy arpeggiator. So I'm gonna remove notes here, and also this guy as well. I'm gonna try to keep it to its bare minimum again. Let me see, because this could. Let's see. Okay, I like it. Let me see, because I find this particular arpeggiator a little bit annoying. Yeah, Robbie, I'm thinking the same way as you do, man. Because since this is kind of like the final section of the track, I don't want to make it. I don't want to make this Polymax to be the center of attention. This is actually just to add a little bit of extra motion, because well, the cyclical nature of the track. So I am still in doubt if I should do it like this. Let me see. I'm gonna change the chord. Let's see. Okay, okay, let's see. Allegedly, I'm back. Yeah, there was a huge issue with the energy here in studio. There was a moment of actual darkness, but I think the system is robust enough for it to come back. Allegedly, you should be able to listen to me right now. So please, whoever is watching, because I think Rob is still around, so please confirm with me, because I barely, I don't know, I should be working. Because again, live streaming in both Rumble and YouTube at the same time is kind of tough, but I think it's working. Good. Yeah, I agree with you. The whole thing with this particular pad, the arpeggiator, it's changing a little bit too much the feel and the vibe of the track. Because I like what it's doing here. Let me see if you're getting the sound as well of the music. Yeah, it seems that it's working correctly. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna press play again, and I'm gonna yeah, good, excellent. Thank you, Robbie, for letting me know. So I'm gonna press play again, and I like this section. I like what this pad is doing, the arpeggiator is doing in this part. It feels that it's actually adding something. The issue is that during the chorus or this modulation, no, I hate it with a passion. So it becomes even distracting, and I already tried to lower the volume. So let's do some automation in hopes for it to be different. Pressing A to turn on automation, and I'm gonna select my arpeggiator, and in here we're gonna select the rate. Let me confirm. We're right now rocking at 16. I'm gonna make it more spaced out, as Robbie suggests, so I think it's a good idea. I'm gonna go for 8, an 8 rather than a 16. You see? You know what? Let's do something different. Since we are adding tension, it would be kind of dumb to remove the polymax, the arpeggiator there. So I'm gonna copy the same guy, but I'm gonna turn off the arpeggiator there using automation. Let me see. We're gonna go here. No, I don't want rate. I want arpeggiator. Here. Let's do it easy, simple and easy here. Let's make it latch. Here we go. Okay. Okay, this is better, 100% better. And I'm gonna add yet another layer there. And since I'm very lazy, I'm just gonna go for something. You know me, I'm gonna add Mellotron because obviously we're gonna select Mellotron. We're gonna use vintage Mellotron because I actually like that bad voice, kind of cool. But it comes as a stereo, as a mono. Let's make it stereo by using some chorus. I'm gonna use this guy by Antares, so cool. And let's try it out. I'm gonna make yet another layer. No, don't copy, thank you. And yeah, no arpeggiator. No, this is not working because this is actually it's a vocoder kind of thing. I'm gonna do something a little bit less ridiculous. Let's try modulation, chorus. Yeah, and we'll go forward. No, we already tried. We already used tracer chorus. Let's use the mono, the D, the dimension D. Here we go. And this guy is instant gratification. Okay, I like it. But also, I need a little bit of reverb there. So, briefly, because I gotta go. Here we go. Let's add some simple and nothing special reverb. Let's go for yeah, this guy. Here we go. Small room, because I want little. Pretty light, thank you. Yes. Just like that. Excellent. Let's see how it sounds like with the rest of the mix. And it has to be like this. Perfect. Let's see. Here we go, from the top. Okay, I think we got a good harmony. Now, when it comes to the melody, as I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, this is gonna mark the end of this live stream, but also means one important thing. And you now saw my backend, and I got a mess here. This also means that I need somebody to record this guy, the melody, and that's gonna be up to you, girls and boys. I would like any of you to actually help me by doing that, because the plan is for us to have we are developing a program on which we'll be having collaborations with you. And if Robbie, if you're still watching, if you would like to add some form of lead element to this track, any way, any color you like, please let me know, because it would be freaking amazing to having you as part of this production, because the plan for this track is to be used as the first collaboration we do in this channel, officially speaking. So if you're interested, Robbie, send an email, and any of you who are interested and would like to do it as well, if you beat Robbie, which I don't think you're gonna beat him, you'll have the chance to do it as well. And if you are not selected, worry not, because we're gonna be trying to keep up with these projects at least once per, one per month, if possible. So this is taking us to the end of this live stream. Yeah, perfect, Robbie. So we got confirmation from you. So you're gonna be doing it. We get in touch through email so we can program and organize the whole operation. Now, well, this is marking the end of this session. I'm gonna save it, and also this is gonna mark the end of this year's live streams. At least when it comes to the inner sound. No, actually every live stream, because as you could tell, I am running this thing solo tonight because certain individual decided to take holidays. But whatever, the show must go on. So, yep, I hope that every single of you have and enjoy a beautiful Christmas season with your family and loved ones. And if you're one of those bad boys who prefer to enjoy Christmas by your own, you do you, for as long as you keep it safe and sound. So, as usual, girls and boys, if you like to support this kind of content, I encourage you to support the channel by listening to music on Apple Music or Spotify, and also by joining us on Instagram and X, because that's the best way for you to get in touch with us in a much more personal basis. Now, as every single time I meet you, I gotta remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about, and of course, enjoy and have a happy Christmas. See you next year, and when I see you as well. Bye-bye.